Why did that teacher get fired from your school? This one you can find in the news. It's hard to explain in story format. So here's a sequence of events. Chemistry teacher and boys/girls water polo coach, same guy, calling him Mr. V for simplicity's sake, went on a business trip to Texas. Mr. V has a Grindr account. In this particular area of Texas, there is an amateur to catch a predator team on YouTube. They set up the bait by contacting men and claiming to be underage after a conversation with the man. In this case, the bait was 14 years old. Mr. V has a conversation with the bait on Grindr, supposedly during a business event, in which he sends nudes and asks sexual questions. Explicit photos are sent by Mr. V both before and after learning that the bait is 14. You can clearly see his face in the nudes that he sent. Mr. V asks the bait to meet him at a Walmart so that he can give the bait a blowjob and potentially have sex in one of the bathrooms. Mr. V pretends to have stomach pain, leaves the business event, and goes to the Walmart to meet someone who he thinks is a 14-year-old boy. The sting takes place and the amateur TCAP team traps him and follows him around Walmart, yelling at him and accusing him of being a pedophile. Mr. V acts as if he doesn't know them at all. That all took place last summer, and someone from our school discovered the video online and recognized him around December or January. I'd post a link to the original video, but it was deleted. Till some high schools have water polo teams. Something I've always wondered about water polo. How do they keep the horses from drowning? We use seahorses. High school gym teacher. Apparently he showed up to a hotel room expecting to bang a 13 years old, but got busted by the cops instead. It's always the gym teacher. Not every gym teacher wants to be a pedophile, but every pedophile wants to be a gym teacher. Oh, the tone of this comment and the poetry behind it are matching your name so well. She embezzled thousands of dollars from various club funds. There were also rumors of her sleeping with students, but the administration never bothered to look into that. Money is much more important than student safety. Middle school pet teacher walked into the girls' wardrobe and asked if he could watch one of them change their tampon as a joke. Yikes. Arrested by the FBI for credit card fraud. It was a few months after the arrest when the reason why he disappeared came out in the open. After some of the others, I'm actually okay with yours. She was always drunk and drinking during class. She would leave us to cry in the bathroom. Wow, that's sad. They pretty much invented my high school French class grades to cover her drinking. Then I transferred schools and they were surprised at how little French I knew. I had such good grades. Was your school in a rural area with a very creepy mascot in wooden shoes? Colors purple and gold? I don't wanna give away where I live. But our French teacher was a drunk too. I think she went to rehab. I hope she does well. She was really nice. It was rural and too small for a mascot. 250 kids from 2 towns grade 8 to 12. She went to rehab twice while I was at school and it didn't stick. He got a female student pregnant at the same time his wife was pregnant. His wife was and still is a gym teacher at the school. Explained elasticity by pulling the bra strap of a girl. Another one for having relationship with a girl from 8th grade. 14-yo. Hey sissy, come here so I can explain the female reproduction to the class. Sir. But you haven't explained the male one yet. Size and unzips pant. You made me physically cringe. Our new band teacher was a young guy, fresh out of college. His first year teaching, and he embezzled about $1,000 from the band's funds. He got arrested, and his possible future career ruined for $1,000. Edit. Probably my favorite part of the story was that he went by the name Mr. E. So once he was gone, the ruthless band kids referred to him as Mr. Embezzlement. I had a teacher with a gambling addiction claim thousands of dollars collected under his care was lost. School never reported it in and protected him because he was close to retirement. Dating a 16-year-old student. He was the band teacher. He also had a wife and kid. He went to jail and is now a registered sex offender. The state of Florida has asked us to disclose our sexual crimes to you. We were bad, but now we are good. We are moving into your neighborhood. He didn't come to parent-teacher interview night. The next day, he was late for class and crashed his pickup into a brick sign outside the school. Cops showed up obviously and allegedly he blew twice the legal limit. He called the principal a cunt as he was taken away. He called the principal a cunt as he was taken away just while he was at it. Might as well vent some grudges. If he didn't say it, he would have faced the same consequences. So why not? Oh boy, where to start. Elementary school nurse was fired for taking the kids' medications. HS bang teacher slept with a 15 years old. Swim coach left a hotel that he was at with his mistress drunk and killed someone with his car. My high school had like 400 students. F bro, did you go to a high school from a CW show? Edit. First award, thank you. Thank you. Previously on Arrow or Riverdale. I replaced one teacher. She was young and pretty and was photographed kissing one of the seniors in the parking lot. One of the elementary school teachers at the district I went to got arrested for making his class worship him like he was a cult leader. He was totally bonkers. I had a football coach like that. He made us call him God. I signed out of the team pretty quickly. Oh my football coach, that's insane. Oh my dad. A co-worker teacher got fired 2 weeks in the new semester when instead of uploading a video related to his subject, he instead accidentally continued a previously paused hardcore lesbian scene on the big interactive screen. The computer he was using was slow and shitty too, so he couldn't quickly exit the video. It went on for a good 30 seconds before someone pulled the plug on the screen around the same time he lobbed the laptop about 30 feet across the class. Yikes. This one's so horrible, but also so plausibly completely accidental. I definitely believe it was accidental to show it. But why on earth was he watching porn while at his job? Teaching children? That's the part where this should have been completely avoided. Instead, it would have been much less a problem if it was, say, a video on why the Star Wars prequels are the worst or something else SFW. I assumed it was a laptop or something he'd been watching at home. Still incredibly stupid to watch porn on a work laptop. But it doesn't necessarily mean he was watching it while there were kids in the room. I used to use those free TV websites that had nefarious pop-ups. I remember in college opening my laptop near the front row for all to see behind me, of course, to busty Russian MILFs in your area. But if he was watching porn at school with students in the room, Ike. I'm a high school teacher and I once had a student bring me her laptop to ask for help with an assignment. One of the open tabs was something along the lines of Hentai Fantasy Island. I asked her what it is, and she said, oh, I'm not sure, and tried to switch to it. I told her not to switch to it, and close the tab. Apparently it was a pop-up that opened due to the illegal streaming website she also had tabbed. Students laughed she ate toothpaste. Turns out she was an alcoholic trying to cover her breath. 9 out of 10 alcoholics recommend Crest. The 10th one passed out and couldn't recommend it. Oddly enough, the 10th alcoholic was a dentist. Sending nudes to a student. What the fuck? She wasn't young either. He got arrested driving through Nevada over the summer with 5 pounds of weed in his car that he'd bought in California. He had no intention on telling the district, and we only found out because a news reporter from the town he was arrested in contacted our superintendent for a quote on the matter. He was let go immediately. My god. It's just some weed dude. I don't understand why law enforcement in the US hates marijuana so much. She had fallen off the wagon and was drinking a lot to the point where it was affecting her memory. We kept doing the same lecture on density in 6th grade science for a month until one of my classmates decided to ask another teacher about it. From there she went to rehab. If anyone wants more context, she was our homeroom and science teacher. She was very nice and married to our assistant principal, so she had a little bit more leeway while she was able to remain sober for a while. She eventually passed away due to the effects of her addiction a few years after this. She never seemed like a bad teacher, but she was always stressed to the absolute maximum. Always felt like she was working from behind and generally struggling to keep up. You know, the traditional tail end of the functioning addict lifestyle, affecting rather than affecting. That may have been one of the lessons I missed. Your knowledge on density must be phenomenal. Do not fear the man who has learned 1,000 concepts once, but the man who has learned one concept 1,000 times. Bruce Nye, the Axiom Guy. Female pet teacher. She got caught sniffing a girl's underwear while she was showering. Imagine getting out of the shower and seeing your teacher with her nose in your fucking underwear. What is wrong with people? Reminds me of that one scene from the first Scary Movie. Excuse me, Miss Man. Come in. Sign D. Have a seat. Take off your bra if you'd like. Thanks for all your help. I have to go to class.